I continued on my journey with the old Sarah Jessica Parker perfumes, and I got this little test set from eBay of Dawn, Endless and Twilight. Now, annoyingly, these are actually, as it turns out, the Cote versions, which means, as you can see here, distributed by Coty, made in the USA, and so these are the old formulations, which is a little bit irritating, but I'm hoping that the new formulations won't be completely changed, because I actually like all three of these, if you can even imagine. So this is Dawn, Endless and Twilight. So Dawn, the first one, I'll give you the notes for this. The top notes are violet leaf, angelica and citruses. The middle notes are orchid. Well, middle note is orchid. Base notes, musk, vanilla, orris root, oak moss and vetiver. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to like this one. I don't really like the look of those notes at all. And then I put a little bit on my skin, and I was like, oh, this smells like an old lady floral perfume. That's literally the first thing I thought of. I thought, okay, this has a vibe. Well, funnily enough, I was totally expecting it to have, what's the name of it? Lily of the Valley or something in it. It had that kind of like old school floral smell that I was just like, nah, I'm not keen. And then it just continued to dry down and get prettier. It got sweeter. It didn't get super vanilla-y, but it got like sweet the way that orris root makes things sweet that I tend to really like. So I was like, oh, okay. I just kept sniffing it. And it was very gentle. It's very light. These are all very light. Twilight is the one clearly for evening, and that's the strongest one, but they're all pretty light, to be honest. And Dawn is the one that I was like, I definitely don't want a bottle of that. And then it just increasingly got nicer, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I do want a bottle of that. So I quite like it, and I'm going to keep an eye out on eBay. And then it's really hard to describe it. It starts off very floral, it gets more musky, it gets a bit sweeter, and then it just develops into just a very gentle, very, very pretty, slightly floral smell. And I didn't think of it as being massively violety, so yeah, it's a bit odd. Okay, so then let's talk about Endless real quick. Endless was my second favourite. I think it's quite appley, Endless. I'll give you the notes, but I think it smells a bit like a gentle apple perfume. So the top notes of Endless are plum, red apple, ivy and pineapple. Middle notes are peony, magnolia, jasmine, cloves and chamomile. Base notes patchouli, oak moss, musk, sandalwood, suede and vetiver. Now those base notes are very subtle in this. I would not have guessed there was patchouli. I wouldn't have really guessed that there was suede. The oak moss must be a very small amount. It's definitely not making it too earthy, too weird. The sandalwood isn't making it ridiculously woody. I think the flowers, the chamomile especially, because it's very gentle. It's very gentle. And then the apple and the plum, a bit of pineapple. That's the main thing here, but again it's very, very gentle, and the ivy just gives it a bit of greenness. I really liked Endless a lot. It didn't last very long, and weirdly the longer that Dawn dried down, the more it smelled like the dry down of Endless. So they're actually quite similar in the deep dry down, those two, but I really like both of them. I'd be happy to have a bottle of both, and again I'm gonna keep an eye out to see if I can get a cheap bottle of the original formula, but otherwise I might try the new formulas, because they are in slightly different bottles. They're in totally see-through bottles rather than having this floral stuff on, but they are about a tenner for the big bottles now at the moment. I think they've all been discontinued, but anyway. So then we've got Twilight. Now Twilight was my favourite. Twilight is sweet, it's kind of musky, it's very evening appropriate, but it's also quite light. I was really surprised at how pretty this one was. So I actually won a bid on eBay for I think it's a 30ml bottle of the old original formula of this. So I'm waiting for that to turn up. So the notes in this, again, they didn't sound like something I'd like, and somehow they just really work, which I find with quite a lot of Sarah Jessica Parker perfumes. So the top notes are pink pepper, galbanum, bergamot and mandarin orange. The middle notes are jasmine and peony. Base notes are amber, incense, musk and sandalwood. And to me, this is just a gentle, slightly smoky, but the incense really subtle, very warm from the amber, powdery, musky, sandalwoody smell. You have got a little bit of florals. I don't think I would have recognised what they were. You've got some of the top notes, you know, bergamot and all that kind of thing. But honestly, there's just something very warm and cosy. Again, if you like amber scents, if you like sandalwood and amber, this would be a really good bedtime scent. Really, really pretty. So yeah, I actually think all of these are really nice. I think they're really nice, and I hope that they haven't changed them too much in the reformulation, because that's probably what I'll have to end up with Endless and Dawn. Because Twilight, I just managed to see someone was selling it for an absolute steal. I think I got it for like about £6 or something. And then Endless and Dawn, they're quite expensive. They're like 20 quid for small bottles of the original ones on eBay for used ones. So I'm, you know, those might be ones that at some point I just get the new versions of and hope for the best. But yeah, I think they're all really nice. I like all of these. I would happily have all of them, preferably not in massive bottles because they're not something I'd wear all the time. But none of them are particularly strong. None of them last massively long. Are these eau de parfum? Yeah, these are supposed to be eau de parfum, but I'd say they're much closer to an eau de toilette in the way that they smell and perform. But these two are both definitely light enough to wear in summer. Like, they're definitely light enough to be really summery perfumes. This one may be summer in the evening, but it's a bit sweeter. It's not something I would wear in summer, but I think they're all great.